Good morning to all of you and
Morning.
welcome.
Good
Thank you so
morning.
much. Thank you so much for joining on a Sunday morning. Let me just see all of you. If you can keep your videos on, that is great. So that when I'm teaching the breathing exercises and processes, you can actually, I can actually see that things are being done properly. Okay. So I'm very excited about this session. How all of you are. We are going to learn lots of things, how to increase our energy level, especially in a weather like this. It is so much necessary. So let's start off. So before we start, let me introduce Health Bank to you. Okay. So Health Bank is a platform for life education. It's an organization which was started by three sisters. Myself, I'm a doctor. I'm a pulmonologist and have been practicing for past 25, 30 years. My sister, Sejal Khak, she's an architect, and Purvi Dalal, who was just here, she's also an architect. So we started this organization in 2014, and the basic purpose was to help people and guide people to learn how to invest in themselves. Okay. See, what is a bank? Bank, we keep our earning safely in the bank. We keep our possessions safely in the bank. And so that, we are assured that when we need it, it is there. But nowadays, banks are much more, isn't it? The banks also help you to invest. If you just keep your amount in saving, it doesn't even beat the inflation, so it remains safe. But you learn to invest also. So you invest in various things so that your investment earns money for you, and when you need it, you have it. Okay. Same thing is true about your health, but we never paid that kind of attention to our health. Okay. How do we invest in our health? Do we have any plan except for, maybe having a health insurance and every yearly paying our premium on health insurance? Do we really plan how do we invest for our own health? And being a doctor also, actually, we take it for granted. We feel that we know our health very well, especially for doctors. And I know many doctors are there in this group. So I learned it hard way. I was a very sincere and committed doctor right from the beginning when I started my practice. And so when I started my practice, about 10 years into the practice, I myself had some health issues. And that's when I was introduced to yoga because I didn't get my answers in my branch of medicine in allopathy. So I was introduced to yoga. And then first time I learned about pranayam, I learned about breathing, I learned about my own body, how it works, how it functions, how it feels. And then I realized that so far, whatever knowledge I had was more of intellectual knowledge. Maybe I was very good at theory. I knew my anatomy, I knew my subject, but I didn't really know how my body functions. Okay? I was a lung specialist. I am a lung specialist. I would advise people to do things, to do yoga, to do breathing exercises, but I never had time to start working on my lungs. And so when I had an health issue, I was introduced to it. And after that, my life changed. And then I thought that this is something which I need to teach people. They need to connect to this process. And in 2014, we started Health Bank. And I was very fortunate to meet my masters. See, actually, in this field of yoga, spirituality, so many different kinds of teachings are there. So one can really get lost. And for intellectual person like us, it becomes very difficult to accept something. So I actually wanted some master who would be very powerful, yet very scientific. And that's where I met my masters. Dr. Premji Nirmal, his wife Bharti Nirmal. Both of them engineers and very, very scientific approach towards yoga, towards spirituality. And the most important thing I learned from them is that your spiritual and your material life has to go hand in hand. It is not separate. It is not either, it's not one or other, it is both together. And this very scientific approach, yet the mystical aspect or the spiritual aspect going together, that really appealed to me, and I started going in this field, and I've still been learning, all three of us. And during this pandemic, lot of us realized that there is something much more to life than just our profession, just our responsibility. And that's why I'm sure all of you are here, and let's get started. Okay. So, whenever you start any process, whenever you learn something new, always start by getting connected to yourself. Okay? All of us know Om chanting. We do Om chanting before doing our yoga practices. So, it's not for religious purpose. You do Om chanting because by chanting, first you change your vibrations, you change the vibration of the space that you are sitting in, and when the vibration changes, a lot of thoughts are going in the mind. So those thoughts get settled, and then you prepare yourself to accept or to absorb the higher vibrations. Okay. So we do Om chanting, we do prayers, and then we start. And prayers are also, again, not for religious purposes, because many of you have been following different paths, so you have your own master, different masters. So it is nothing to do about one particular master. It is just that today you are learning a process that has come from some masters, because we have been initiated by our masters, Guruji Prem Nirmal, Guru Ma Bharti Nirmal. And this knowledge has come, knowledge of Kriya Yoga has come from Param Pujya Sri Maha Avatar Babaji, the great Himalayan master. He initiated Guruji directly from them. We got initiated. So when you are learning the process, this today's process, we pay our gratitude to these masters who have given this rarest of rare knowledge, a lot of love and compassion. And you get connected to whosoever masters you are connected to. So we start off with Guru Vandana. So let's all get started. So settle yourself, and I would just request all of you to keep your mics muted. We'll also mute it from here. And as far as possible, don't do too many movements, because when you do the movements, that energy gets disturbed. Okay. So let's all start. So many of you have been already learning from us offline, online, or recorded workshops, and so you know the processes. And but some of you are new. Some of you have connected to us because you wanted to get started. Whatever it is, all of us are going to learn and enjoy together. Okay. So the first thing to get connected to ourselves is our breath. The secret of our health, wellness, energy, and evolution lies in our breath. That's the first step. So get connected with your breath. A deep, relaxed breath. The moment you get connected with your breath, and take a deep, relaxed breath to experience the calmness. You get connected to the silence within. Now let's chant Om 3 times. The deep, relaxed breath. In our Indian Vedic culture, Rishi culture, a great importance is given to gratitude. Whatever we achieve in our personal or professional life is all because of the blessings, guidance, and help by many people in our life. So, whenever we start anything new, we should remember and pay our gratitude. Very hearty connections will pay our gratitude with the gratitude mantras. Om Matrudevo Bhava. Om Pitrudevo Bhava. Om Acharya Devo Bhava. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Om Grahak Devo Bhava. Om Atithi Devo Bhava. We pray to the masters with Guru Vandana. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I praying to the masters and seeking their blessing. Let's start with our session. So when we started the talk with the banking, health bank. Okay. So let's understand how the process works. Okay. See, for anything that you want to do in life, maybe professional success, career success, earning money, developing or growing your business, or taking care of your family responsibility, being a good husband, wife, parent, a good team member, or a good professional, whatever you want to do, or you want to express your creativity, whatever you want to do, you need energy. Okay. Without abundance of energy, you are not able to do the multiple thing that you want. And many of us, in fact, all of us are not doing just one thing, but we are playing multiple roles and multitasking. So as the life is becoming more complex and fast, we are doing multiple things at a time, and for which we need energy. And on top of everything, when you are doing multiple things at a time, what you need is you need to keep your mind steady. And that is the biggest challenge. Okay. So let's start how this energy equation works. Okay. We talked of banking. Let's understand with money. How does the whole process start? So when you want to invest your money, first of all, you need to earn. Okay? Unless you earn, you won't have enough to invest. Okay. Then you earn a lot of money, but you spend also a lot. So there are people who earn very good money, but their lifestyle is such that very little is left because they spend everything. So you need to be a good saver also. So you earn, then you save, and then whatever is left, you invest in such a way so wisely that over a period of time, this investment is going to give you a lot of returns. ROI, we talk of return on investment. So when you get a lot of return, there will come a time where okay, you can sit, relax, don't put in too much of effort to earn because now you have invested enough and your money is working for you. So earn, save, invest, and enjoy. Now, same thing is true for your own health, for your own energy. See, during this pandemic, one realization has come to everyone that there is much more to life than what we have been thinking about. And also, one realization came that all along, probably we have been investing all our time, money, and energy into wrong things. As a nation, also, we realized that where we have been investing, we didn't invest in developing a health infrastructure and we suffered a big way. And as individual also we realize that probably we haven't been investing in our own health and wellness to the extent that we should have been. And that realization has brought a lot of changes. That's why I think so many people have joined today's session. So after this realization, people want to work on it. So one, the realization has come. Then how do you start? How do you do it? Is there anybody to guide us properly? That's where Health Bank is here for you. So for health, in fact, for money, you can buy or borrow from somewhere, but for health, you have to work on your own. Nobody is going to lend you. Nobody can, even if they want to. So same thing works for your energy. You have to first build your energy reservoir. Okay, so how do you do that? The most important thing that will help you to build your energy reservoir is your breath. That is your starting point. In a day, you breathe 21,600 times. When you eat 3-4 times, you drink 10-12 times. So maximum amount of energy you are going to get is through your breath. So that's first thing that you have to realize. Then about the expenditure. Where do you spend your energy? The maximum energy that you spend is talking, thinking. Most amount of energy you spend in your thinking. So your mind is the one who is controlling your emotions, controlling your thoughts, and draining your energy. If you breathe 21,600 times in a day, you think 60 to 80,000 times in a day. And out of that, 80 to 90% of thoughts are useless. They are draining your energy, they are counterproductive. So, the second part of the learning is that you have to learn how to manage your mind. And that is the biggest challenge because that has become so powerful. How do you manage your mind? See, you do work, you do your family responsibility, you do some creative expression, whatever the way you enjoy. But when your mind gets disturbed, when your mind is full of fear and anxiety, nothing will give you the enjoyment. So, while doing everything, at the end of the day, you have to have that peace, calmness, and happiness within all the time. So, that is the second part. Now, how do you invest? Okay, the way you invest your time and energy is going to decide what's going to be your future health, wellness, and progress. Okay. So when you invest your energy into doing something like this, learning something like this, and do it continuously, you sure are going to build your energy reservoir. So you will improve. If you do regularly the breathing exercises, you will improve your lung capacity. You improve your immunity. You improve your energy reservoir. So one, because your immunity is strong, because your lungs are strong, because your energy is strong, you will not get any disease. Okay, but this is body, nothing can be guaranteed. with aging, with your genetics, something or the other may come. But even if you get, you will have the capacity to recover much faster. And this is not just in theory. I have seen it. I've seen it for myself. And I have seen it in so many of my patients. In fact, many of you got connected to me through my medical profession and now walking with me on this path, and you've seen that your energy levels are better, you're able to do much more, you're not falling sick, and you're not coming to me for medical reasons. That is the biggest proof. Okay. And then lastly, once you invest it wisely, you enjoy. So we have to learn all these processes. Whenever you want to learn anything new, you must ask five, it's called 5 wives and 1 husband. Okay. So first is why. Why do I want to do it? So that has to be clear. Yes, I want to enjoy good health. I want to invest in myself, and I want to enjoy all aspects of life and yet grow materially and spiritually. So your why has to be clear. Somebody may be doing for health purpose, somebody may be doing for just learning something more, somebody may be doing because family members are pushing. Alpa madam is repeatedly telling. The third is the reason it will not last long. Okay. So your why has to be very clear. Once the why is clear, then what? What do I learn? Okay. That's why, see, me being a doctor and in this field for past 25 years, and maybe since 2010, I've been teaching yoga. I've got a lot of insight into how things work. And also what we saw that, see, I mean, it's like any other yoga, but people, once they start growing older and they have health issues, there becomes a limitation. Oh, I cannot do Surya Namaskar. I cannot do this asana. I have back problem. I have, knee problem. Then how do I do? Maybe yoga is not for me. But what I realized when we started the classes in hospital, that something universal has to be there, and breath is that universal thing. Prana is that universal thing. Meditation is that universal thing. And I've seen that people, by doing just this simple thing, also improved that physical, mental, emotional strength and started. So this has to be universal. It has to be given somebody who is knowledgeable, somebody who has experience. So what? Okay. And when do you do it? The best thing is to start from today, as soon as possible. Don't go on procrastinating and postponing it more and more. And how do you, I mean, when you do different processes, we'll just definitely tell you morning time, evening time, whenever you have time. Okay. Where do you do it? So we used to do classes offline, but now with this changing scenario, online is working as well. And people are really learning, even experiencing things with online teaching. So wherever, offline, online, or we also have pre-recorded workshops. So many of you have done this pre-recorded workshop, Awaken the Prana, and that's very popular because we are teaching breathing, basic 12 breathing exercises, the Suryodaya Kriya, mudras and Kriya, and meditation. A lot of other understanding sessions are there. So you have options of doing it. You can also join our YouTube channel. Lots of free videos are there. You can just watch them also. And we also have live online classes twice a week going on. Okay. And then how? So how is the process is where actually, at nut bolt level, we teach you each and everything. Okay. So let's get started with the process actually. So I told you thing that when you start thinking of your investment, you have to first build your energy levels, and it starts with your breathing. So in our ancient scriptures, so much of importance is given to breath. So many shlokas are there on breath, and it's so amazing that our culture, our Rishi culture, is so rich. This Gita, Vedas, Upanishad, 64 Kalas, and Mahavidya all are developed in our country. Okay, and look at the scenario today. We are the world leader in diabetes. We are the world leader in tuberculosis, and we are the world leader for so many wrong reasons. this has to change now, this has to get reverted. We get connected with our Rishi culture and learn all this wisdom which is there. Okay? So it is said that secret of good health and longevity is in your breath. Okay, that's the first thing that you do when you enter this world, and the last thing that you will do when you leave this world. Okay, so why not start looking after your breath? It is said the biggest secret is to take deep breaths and slow down the breath rate. Okay, so once you slow down your breathing rate, your longevity increases, your energy levels increase. Okay, so everyone is given fixed amount of breath. So your lifespan or your ayushya is decided not on the number of days or years, it is decided on the number of breaths. So if you finish off your breath by breathing very fast, by always being on the move, on the go, then your lifestyle becomes small. But if you use it wisely, slow down your breathing, it not only will increase your life. So many people is say, "अरे इतना लंबा किसको जीना है, यही बहुत enough है." Okay. Forget about just the length of the life, but if you maintain the energy level, that's also very good. So let's first start working on our breath. So we are going to learn the blissful breathing or navel breathing. So many of you already know it, you have done it, but just let revisit and understand. So there are three components of this breath, and many of you are from yoga background also. So here, this is a rejuvenating breath. Okay, the relaxing breath is a little different. Rejuvenating breath is different. So here the principle is that there is abundance of energy in the universe. It is a storehouse or powerhouse of energy. We do not know how to connect to it. Okay, it's like a mobile hardware, battery, and your software. Okay, the most important thing that your battery need to be charged. So whenever your battery gets drained, what do? You plug it in the main source and then get it charged. Same thing is there with our body. This is our plug. Okay, so when our energy gets drained, when our battery gets drained, you learn how to plug it in with the universal energy source and get the energy. Okay, so when you want to get to universal source, you need to align with the universal rhythm. So what is a universal rhythm? Universal rhythm is always rise for longer and fall faster. So 3 count you rise, 2 count you end. Okay, in the wave form. And that's why when you do this breath, inhalation for 3 count, exhalation for 2 counts. That's the first thing. You are aligning with the universal energy. The second thing is when you are inhaling, your tummy should go out. When you are exhaling, tummy should go in. Okay? The third thing is see our navel. Our navel is a seat of our emotions. All our fear, insecurity, all that gets crystallized in the navel. Why? Because when you are born, first thing that happens is you are disconnected from your mother by cutting the umbilical cord. Okay. That is where you have the security that everything is being provided by your mother, and now you have to fend for yourself. So the first insecurity comes when the umbilical cord is cut. So a lot of your insecurities and fears are crystallized there. You have to move it. So when you exhale, you are supposed to press the navel with your hand and pull the navel from inside. Okay, I'll go a little away and show you this blissful breath. So put your left hand on the navel and then right hand on top of the left hand. This is how the hands are placed. When you inhale, tummy goes out. When you exhale, tummy goes in. Inhalation for 3 count, exhalation for 2 count. And while exhaling, massage from top and pull the navel from within. These 3 components have to be there. Okay. Is this clear? And keep your spine vertical. Be in comfortable position. keep your spine vertical, because when you are doing this breathing, the energy levels will rise and it has to have the right path to move upwards. Okay. And you will see how the mind also becomes quieter after your breath becomes slower. Get ready. We'll do 6 breaths. Take a deep, relaxed breath first. Let go. Now I will show with my hand. When my hand goes up, your tummy goes out. That is, you are breathing in. When my hand goes down, your tummy goes in. Get ready. Start. 1, 2. Be aware of all the components. Inhalation, tummy goes out. Exhalation, in. 3. Inhalation little longer. Exhalation shorter. 4. Not forgetting to massage with your hand and pull the navel in. 6. All right. Relax. Keep your eyes closed. Just experience, is there any difference? Any difference in your energy? Any difference in your thought movement? If you can keep your movement minimum, you'll experience it much better. Is everybody okay? Does anybody have any questions or any issues understanding this process? Okay. If not, we'll move further.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
We have to massage the navel and pull it in continuously throughout inhalation and exhalation.
No, only during exhalation. Rather, only at the end of exhalation. So you've done this inhalation, and while exhaling, anyway, while exhaling, the tummy is going inside, your pressure is there.
Yes.
Okay. So during exhalation only you have to do this, and maximum it will be at the end of exhalation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. So now we'll go a little further. Is everybody comfortable? All right. So your videos are closed. If you have any question, you can put your video on and ask. We'll move on. Okay. Now many of you have already learned this process, breathing. Many of you are part of my bi-weekly online classes, and you know how this is done. So we have to move once further now. What we have written in the text about this session, that we learn how to move from Shwashayam to pranayam. So what is the difference? Okay, majority of time when we learn this breathing exercises, when we do pranayam, our focus is on physical expansion of, but our scriptures say that from the breath you have to move to the prana. So that is the real thing where your energy levels are there. So energy is in the prana. Pranaha. So very first unit of energy that you have. Okay. So how do you move from Shwashayam to Pranayam? So the movement of prana first starts in your spine. Okay. So when you pay attention to your spine, you can experience getting connected to this energy or the prana. So it doesn't happen immediately. As you are practicing regularly, you'll start to experience this change. Okay, so those of you who are practicing regularly, or you may be doing some other yoga practices, some other thing. So some people are naturally very sensitive, so they may be able to experience it. So now we again repeat same breath, 12 breath we will do with normal, paying attention to the physical, because that you have to master first. You have to master this navel breath first. The next 12 breath you will be doing where you focus your attention more on the spine and get connected to the prana. You will see the difference between these two types of breathing, which gives you more energy, which gives you more calmness. And even if you don't experience, don't worry. It may not happen the first time, but you just understand the process. Okay? Should we start? Okay. Let's do this breath. Okay? Everybody is at least experiencing some change. Okay? All right. And try and do
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
and try and do whatever is being done. Sometimes we try to do too many things. Some people say, oh, आज मॉर्निंग में मेरा लूजनिंग नहीं हो गया, तो साथ में लूजनिंग चालू कर देते हैं या कुछ और अनुलोम विलोम चालू, ऐसा मिक्स एंड मैच मत करो. अभी एटलीस्ट गिव योर सेल्फ half an hour, 40 minutes and do this process. Learn it in this purity. Later on, if you like it, you can continue with us. If you don't, you are ready to follow your path. You are free to follow your path. Okay, so let's do the same process, 12 breaths. Take a deep, relaxed breath. Exhale. Start. We'll do it 12 times. 1, 2. Follow all the 3 components. 4. You can go even slower. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now keep your eyes closed. Keep your hands on the lap. And just experience the breathing process. Even with this simple breathing process, you experience some change in your energy level, some change in your thoughts. All right, open your eyes. Now we'll do the second part. So you do the same process, 12 breath. We'll be focusing on the spine. So as you inhale, let your attention come from the base of the spine to the top of the head. And as you exhale, let your attention move from top of the head back to the base of the spine. And all 3 components have to be followed. Inhalation, tummy out, exhalation, tummy in, inhalation for 3 count, exhalation for 2 count. And while exhaling, remembering to massage with your hands and pulling the navel from within. Get ready. Focusing on the spine, we'll do the 12 breaths. Get ready. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Keep your hands on the lap. All right. Open your eyes. Did anybody feel the difference? Was there any challenge in doing it? Was there any difference felt? So some new person. So I know those who have been with me for a long time would know the difference, but somebody who is doing it for the first time, whatever small change you may have experienced, did you experience? Somebody can share?
Ma'am, orange color, full body, around full body, and spine, a lot of energy, I think.
Lot of energy. Wow, that's nice. Okay, good. Yes.
So, ma'am, for the first kind of breathing, I felt very calm. When my attention went to my navel, I felt very calm and secure, sort of.
Hmm.
And for the second type of breathing, my thoughts seem to go be concentrated on that movement and quiet.
Hmm. Okay. So there is any whatever may be your level of sensitivity, some difference was experienced by most. Am I right? If somebody had any challenge, you could always ask me. But everybody's understood the process.
Yes.
Okay. So many of you had connected with us. So many of you are doing a pre-recorded workshop, Awaken the Prana. So because see, not everybody is able to get up in the morning, they have some commitment to go to work or saying we do twice a week in the morning, that is 7 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. So usually what happens that people do this Awaken the Prana pre-recorded workshop. It's a 5 video workshop. They do it and then they join our live class because people need to be motivated and doing in a group is always better or you know learn something higher also. But I also got some feedback that many people just don't end up completing those 5 sessions of the Awake and the Prana workshop because somehow they are not able to find themselves motivated enough to complete it on their own. Some of you gave me feedback that those breathing exercises are probably very fast and they are not able to cope up. So I just want to ask people who've been doing this recorded video workshop of Avekanda Prana, are they having any challenges? Then you can ask me now. So there are 12 different holistic breathing exercises. So if you have challenge of doing it all together, you can start slow. So instead of doing 18, you may do 10, you may do 12 and slowly build up. That's okay. With that, videos will be there with you for 9 months. But you have some time bound thing and you start doing it slowly and steadily. Every week you can go on increasing the count. Okay. And for anything that you are, understanding issue, you can always connect with us. So I want to have feedback from people who are already doing this workshop. Are there any challenges in understanding the instruction, or is it too fast for the new people?
Uh, no, it is not too fast.
Yeah,
Only thing is that initially cannot do all the 18 counts. So I do less
yeah,
as much as I can, and then I just wait. So I think it is very good because we can do it at our own pace.
yeah.
So I think it's good. And I can repeat it also. Once I have just finished the second one, but I'm doing it very slowly. And I think it makes sense to do it at our own pace and then repeat it. We can always repeat it once, at least once I'm able to do the full count, then I will probably repeat the whole thing.
Yes, good. And that's
So
of,
I think it is good.
yeah, that's why I thought of keeping this session so that doing it live, you get connected and you understand, okay, why am I doing it? What is the thing? And then it's kind of remotivating. And those who have been thinking of doing can get motivated to start. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next one now. So now the other part of the curriculum which we had announced is how to do kriya. Okay, so I had also shared talk about the research that what exactly is kriya yoga. Okay, so kriya yoga You might have read about it. Many people have read about autobiography of Yogi, or Kriya Yoga has been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It has been mentioned by Rishi Patanjali. Okay, so it is a fast track process. Why it is relevant for today's man is because the biggest challenge today's man has is टाइम. सो टाइम नहीं है. अभी आप कहो कि पहले के जैसे आपको साधना करना है तो फिजिकल बॉडी के लिए बहुत सारे योगासन करो, फिर मेंटल बॉडी के लिए आप बहुत सारा मेडिटेशन करो, इमोशनैलिटी के आप और कुछ करो, फिर और स्पिरिचुअल ग्रोथ के लिए करो. तो फिर क्या होगा कि दिन में 4-5 घंटा अगर साधना करना है तो काम कैसे करेंगे, अपना फैमिली रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कैसे बड़ा करेंगे. इट्स अ बिग चैलेंज, राइट? So most of the people don't start it. Many of my friends or people, youngster, they say that, oh, spirituality and all that after retirement. We don't have time right now. There's so many things to be done. So we needed a process which is fast track, which is very effective, and it caters to all our needs. You know, some process which will take care of our physical fitness, our emotional, mental control, spiritual growth. So some process which is taking care of all our needs and yet very powerful and scientific is needed. You all will agree with me. And Kriya Yoga is one such process. So with great love and compassion, Mahavatar Babaji thought that for the modern man, this is the process. And also what he said that householder spirituality. So for growing in spirituality, you don't have to run away from your normal life and go and sit in Himalayas. Very much sitting here in the middle of all the chaos that is happening, you can learn this process and you are able to manage yourself. That is what is it. Second thing which he wanted was a scientific spirituality. See, today's man will not get, impressed with any mumbo jumbo, or will not just believe without seeing just because of faith. You need to understand, it should appeal to your reason, it should appeal to your logical mind also, and then you will grow into. So there has to be some objectivity. That's why scientific approach was very much needed, and which I found in my masters, Guruji Prem Nirmal, Guruma Bharti Nirmal. And after meeting them, we did this scientific study at how actually this breathing process and meditation is having an impact. See, there's a lot of feel good factor in yoga. I mean, you just did this breathing also, you felt relaxed and nice. But does it actually make changes in your body? So I experienced the changes, my family members, my friends, whosoever I introduced, I started getting a lot of feedback, but then I wanted to see objectively whether it is happening. So we did this research and we found that in 53 subjects, in 6 weeks' time, the physical health improved, psychological, mental, social, environmental, all those domains, we have some scales, WHO quality of life scales, and there was significant, statistically significant improvement. But there is still a subjective element. What was really exciting was to find that we found changes in one area in the brain on EEG after in 32 subjects who did it properly. So that area got active. Which is that area? It is also called a happiness spot, So when you are in happy mood, that area gets active. When you come out of coma or anesthesia, that area gets active. And that area, when it's active, your memory is good. All your self-relevant information, which is good for you, you are able to retrieve and process it better. Okay. So now you'll say that, okay, I'm not comatose, I'm not anesthetized. So how does it help me? So for a person who is awake and, in good health, this means that your self-awareness increases. So when you are doing this Kriya and meditation, your self-awareness increases, which will give you much more clarity. And this is an experience in my life. After doing regularly and getting initiated into Kriya, my energy levels improved, my health improved, and I started getting clarity. So my decision making changed. I knew what I want to do, what I want to drop out from my life, where I want to focus my energy. So I mean, my work, my material life, as well as my spiritual life, they started growing together. And so much of, so many things I could do and I could create. So that's what change I experience. And it's not just at psychological or philosophical level. Actually, there are changes happening in your hardware, and that's what we can. I realize that it's big time. I have to promote this beautiful scientific methodology which is being given by the masters, and it is all our own heritage, our own ancient culture which we are not aware. We depend only on the modern technology. So what we did was a perfect alignment of the modern technology to document and this ancient spiritual mystical process. So that alignment happened. So now Kriya Yoga, there's a lot of tradition of Kriya Yoga. Kriya Diksha, initiation by the masters is very important. So Guruji and Guruma, both of them, they initiate disciples into Kriya Diksha. But Guruji has been taught more than 200 Kriyas, and Guruma also has been taught many Kriyas, and out of that 60-70 Kriya they have taught us. So some of this Kriya which doesn't involve Kriya Diksha initiation, we have been teaching, and many of you have learned also. So you can start off with this basic Kriya, and then if you are interested, you can learn further. This Kriya workshop now is also available online, and it is equally effective. In the modern time, masters, because they are scientists, they are engineers, they use a lot of technology to create a beautiful workshop which people can sit in the comforts of their home and learn this highest of highest ancient Himalayan knowledge. So we are going to learn this small Kriya. So what the process of Kriya involves? Starting point is breath. So we learned this process, the breath correction. Then from breath, you move to the prana. So you experience a little bit focusing on the spine, how your prana moves. The third component is accessing your consciousness. Okay. So that's the software component. So how do you access your consciousness? For that, the mind has to become quiet, and you have to experience in that silence the connection with the universal energy field. So what we are going to learn is, we are going to learn breath. We have already done. We are going to learn this Kriya breath. So that activates your prana, and the movement of prana happens from the lower to the higher chakras. Then we'll be doing the meditation. Okay, beautiful process. So we learn some of the mudras and some. It's difficult to learn everything in a one session like this. Later on, you can always connect with us to learn more. But you'll understand the process at least and have the glimpse. See, when somebody is telling you, okay, Kriya is very good, this breathing is very good. So it just remains an intellectual concept. But when you experience it yourself, you get a glimpse of it and it becomes your experience. Then you get motivated to start the journey. Okay? So let's understand the Kriya breath. So breathing we have learned, and now the Kriya breathing that we are going to learn. So in Kriya, it is said that in our body, there are 7 energy points. So many of you know about it. Many of you have learned yoga. Many of you are into pranic healing, and you know that there are this 7 energy point is called chakras. Okay. So we learn these breaths. There are 7 breaths which are aligned to these 7 chakras. So you take first 4 breaths which are fast for the 4 lower chakras. The 5th breath is for, so first chakra is your Muladhara, that is at NL level. Second is your Swadhisthana, that is below the navel. Third is Manipur, that is above the navel here. Second is at the level of bladder. Fourth is your heart chakra. Fifth is your throat chakra. So you do this for your throat chakra. Sixth is your third eye, and 7th is your Sahasrara chakra. So we are going to learn this 7 breath aligned with. Okay. So first 4 breaths are fast, and same thing, 3:2 ratio, and first breath that you learn, same way you have to do. Then when you do 5th breath, you're supposed to do to activate your throat chakra. 6 and 7 breaths are long breaths. Okay? So I'm going to show you one cycle and then we will do together. Okay? So first 4 breaths are same, putting your hand on the navel. Fast breath. 2, 3, and 4. Fifth is medium breath, little longer than first 4 breath, and while exhaling, sixth breath is long breath. So how long? You breathe in up to almost 6 count, and then I will say let go, let go. So in that your exhalation will get over. 7th breath is similar. Okay. This is how Kriya breaths are. So let's do one cycle together and then I will show you the mudra. Is everybody okay? Comfortable? All right. Let's do it. Put your hand on the navel. First take one deep breath and relax. We'll do 7 breaths. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth, medium breath. 6 long. Let go. 7th long. Let go. Everybody okay? So now with this Kriya, what you did? You started with the breath, you activated the prana, and by taking this sequential breath, you lifted the prana from the lower to the higher chakra. The last component is getting into the consciousness. So if you understand the language of hardware and software, say your mobile handset is there, beautiful handset. Then you have the software, the program. But if your battery is not charged, that handset or software is of no use. So you need the battery which is fully charged. And then sometime when you want to download some good programs or good software, you need the connection. Okay, so you need a good net speed and connection so you can download a lot of things. Same thing is true with us. This body is our handset, our hardware. The mind is our software. Okay, but software gets corrupted so often. The virus corrupts our mind so often. And the prana is our charged battery. So when we do these processes, you are correcting the hardware. With Kriya, you are charging your battery. With meditation, you are changing the software or you are removing the virus from your software. And when you go in deep meditation, you get connected with the universal field, fast net speed connection, a lot of good things you can download. That is how the whole process goes. Okay, we are going to experience it ourselves in our body. Okay, all right. So I'm going to show some mudras and we'll practice this with mudras. Okay, it's part of this Suryodaya Kriya. So this is called Prana Mudra. So we'll be doing first round with Prana Mudra and hands will be like this. This is Apan Mudra, putting the hands on the lap. This is Saman Mudra. This is Udana Mudra. And this is Vyana Mudra. Okay. So what we will do is, we'll do 2 rounds with 2 mudras and we'll do meditation for some time. So those of you who are doing our Awaken the Prana workshop, you learn this 70 breath Kriya. Okay. This will be a recap. And those who want to start off, they'll have the experience and understand. Okay. And then we'll be doing meditation. And then if you have any questions, you can ask. All right. Get ready? Start. Get ready. First, take a deep, relaxed breath. Let go. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth, medium breath. 6, long. Let go. 7, long. Let go. Second round also we'll do in same mudra. Get ready. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth, medium breath. 6, long. Let go. 7, long. Let go. Now put your hand in Chin Mudra. This is Chin Mudra, resting on the lap. Experience this highly charged, vibrant state, full of prana. The breath is so calm and rhythmic. Your mind is silent. In this state, where your mind and your body are steady and silent, you experience this vibrant energy. Be aware of your breathing process. As you inhale, be with your breath. As you exhale, be with your breath. Along with the breath, be aware of your body. Be aware of your posture. The touch of the outside cool air on the skin. The movement of your body with the breath. Some coolness, some warmth, some movement. Whatever is going on in your body right now, become aware. And become aware of what's going on in your mind, the thoughts, or the silence between the thoughts. Continue to remain aware of your breath, your body, and your mind. And listen to all that is happening around. The sound of my instruction, the sound of people talking around, the sound of the faraway traffic. We will end the session with 3 times Om chanting. Rub your palms together. Make the pyramids of your palms, place it over your eye. Absorb this wonderful energy. Lovingly touch all over your face and slowly open your eyes. Hope you all enjoyed the session. So, those of you who want to remain connected with us, you can join we have a WhatsApp group, Health Bank Moai Club. We'll be sending you the link. So you can join and the link has been already sent to you. So you can join and further updates, and a lot of learning happens on this group. Many of you are already coming to our online live classes. You can join that. You can do Awaken the Prana. That's a basic course, 5 video workshop. It is there on InstaMojo. And or you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. A lot of things you'll get to learn. All these kind of sessions we keep on doing, meditation session. So if you liked it, you want to do it, there are various ways you can connect the last why, when, what, where, and how. So that how is there. So you do remain connected with us. And today, whosoever had registered earlier, and we have the email ID, we'll be sending you all the details of our website, our this Health Bank Mobile Club link and all that. So do open your emails and see it. And I hope you all enjoyed the sessions, and you can share some feedbacks.
Thank you for this lovely session.
Yeah, happy birthday.
you.
Good way to celebrate your birthday.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Sejal, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Sejal too.
Thank you very much.
Birthday to
Thank
you,
you,
and
Falguni.
thank you very much, madam. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
It's always
a lot.
pleasure to get connected, and it feel very serene
Yes.
and regenerate.
Yes.
Put up that energy again. Thanks a lot.
You can always remain in this state while doing it. So good. Keep coming and keep getting connected. Hope those who are already doing the Prana workshop, if they have any challenges, they can always ask us.
Thank you, Alpha and Purvi. Thank you.
Because you
Thank
have
you.
put on spotlight, we can't see Sejal, the birthday girl. So if you can put Sejal for a
Yes,
while, for a second.
Sejal is here.
Yes.
Sejal,
Our technocrat.
Hi, everyone. Thanks
Hi,
a lot.
Sejal. I
we are
remember.
technocrats, technology of transformation, total transformation.
And Chakit Mudra. Wow.
I know you
Happy
remember
birthday,
me. Yeah, thanks.
Happy birthday, Sejal, once again.
Thank you very much.
Lots of good wishes and love to Sejal and Falguni.
Many happy returns to Sejal. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Also, there are various. So I told you in the beginning, there are various processes. When you do breathing for relaxation, then that time you have longer exhalation. So complete exhalation of the lung will happen, and next breath you'll take a lot of air. But when you're doing it for supercharging yourself, for rejuvenating yourself, you have to align with the universal rhythm, and that's where you do inhalation longer and exhalation shorter. So various types of breaths for different purposes. Okay, there is no conflict, neither right or wrong. Whatever is your purpose, you do it accordingly. Okay. I hope I
Wanted to ask one question.
Yes, Neela madam.
Jyotsna.
Yeah, hi Jyotsna.
Hi. So just the last Kriya, what we did, so you said to focus on the sound which is coming from outside. So actually, why was that? Because that was like too much of distraction with all external sound. Maybe because we are at home,
Yeah.
all activities are going on, and too much of distraction was. So why that was told?
But then when you heard the sound of this brass pipe, tune pipe, did it change?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're actually, what happened that initially when you start to meditate, you have to, sit in a quiet place, be silent so that your mind doesn't get distracted. But slowly, as you start to progress, your awareness will increase that even with that sound which is going on, you are just observing. Why we get distracted, because when there is a sound coming, we focus on that sound and then we analyze, oh, that person is talking, or we try to understand the language, or we focus on that, so there is distraction. But if we remain detached and we just notice, like you are watching a movie and a lot of things are happening. But you know, it's a movie and you are just watching and enjoying it. So you don't get distracted. So that is the reason when you are learning this meditation process, you are aware of multiple points and yet you are not going to one thing and analyzing it. So that's how your awareness is increasing without getting distracted. So maybe as you start to do it and do it regularly, you yourself understand the difference.
Okay, thank you.
See, like how we manage multiple things, no, in our life. We are when you are operating, you are aware of the patient, you are aware of the parameters, you are aware of what instrument you are using, you are aware of, you know, what the anesthetist is doing. So how, because it's your master that skill, you are able to do multiple things at a time and yet be very comfortable about it. The same thing when you learn new, when you were a resident and you were trying to learn, you are wondering, oh my God, how can I manage everything together? But now you are skilled enough to be able to manage. In middle of that somebody calls also, you take the call also, बात भी करेंगे and तुम्हारा operative work चालू रहेगा. Same thing is for driving also. So while driving, you are doing multiple things. You're watching the traffic, you're watching who is coming from the side, your accelerator, brake, whatever it is there, and you're still managing. Same thing happens with meditation also. As you do it, if you give it enough time, if you give it enough attention, that also happens. You are able to drive your mind the way you are able to drive your vehicle. It's in your control, not the other way around.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yeah.
During the 7 breaths, after the 5th breath from the throat, the 6th and 7th breath created a little bit of pressure on my forehead
Yeah.
here.
So that's because, you know, when the energy is moving, so this energy is rising. So there is some blockage here. So that blockage, the energy is trying to remove that blockage. So some headache would happen.
So in the first cycle it was there, second cycle it was not there. That is why it happened.
Correct. So it gets
Okay.
corrected. If you do for 7 cycle, you will start feeling very blissful.
Okay.
But that blockage is removed.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Shall we do the prayers?
Ma'am, one question I had.
Yeah.
I've always been feeling when we do those 7 breaths, the 5th breath, when we do the medium breath, I've seen you raising your head. Okay. Then 6th and 7th also, do we have to raise our head or we have to sit straight?
So if you raise the head, it helps you to lengthen that breath a bit. It's not necessary, but it will just facilitate the process.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining this. And we all know that, you know, getting this such kind of group together and creating a wonderful energy is so rare nowadays. So many negativities are around. So when we meet like this and create this positive energy, that is, I mean, not only for ourselves, we are doing something great for changing the universal vibrations also. Okay, and this is what is required in today's time with so much of fear, anxiety, doubt, and chaos happening around. We need to create more and more of this positive energy. So let's end with a prayer when we pray that let these positive vibrations be experienced by all the beings all over the universe. That is the meaning of this Sanskrit prayer. So we end with the prayer and with a lot of gratitude to our masters, seeking their blessings. Let's end this session with the prayer. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let this love and auspiciousness spread all over the world to all the beings. Do check your email. We'll be sending you all the detail and remain connected.